Move for approval.
Motion, a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Great. So that's been approved. And I think that's everything except for old business, no items. New business, Envision 2035.
Good evening, Commissioners. As most of you have known, that we did have our community open houses here a couple weeks ago. We had one in Brandon, in Hartford, in Dells, and over at Tri-Valley. We had some good turnouts, we felt like, except for in Dells where the numbers weren't quite as high. But for the other ones, we ranged at 35 to 40 people that attended the meetings after we had given notice to everybody in the rural area. We did some different stations when we were there. I kind of described them before. We did one for land use, transportation, building eligibilities, parks and open space. And I did give you a little packet of information. The first page, front and back there, just the comments that were provided to us around at each table and at the head table where you signed in at. People were able to get comment cards and then provide their feedback. So there's a number of different comments that they provided. The second page, they had, with beans, they had to put in jars what they wanted more of. So you can kind of look through there what they wanted, Tri-Valley, Hartford, Dells, Brandon. You can see some that are common, maybe where more people attended. Obviously, that's where more beans were placed, I guess. And then the third one here went over our egg station. Was the comments they were able to provide were through a survey that we had taken. The top page shows the total of each of them questions, and then it breaks it down into each location that we were at. And over here tonight, if you guys want to take a look at it, over on the left side was from our transportation station. Green was where people thought more stop signs should be. Blue is where they felt that there was poor road conditions. Yellow is where they believed more hard servicing needed to be taken. Red was where they felt speeding was occurring too much. White is where people felt that different railroad crossing or signals needed to be placed. So that's the map on the left-hand side. The map on the right was our land use. People went around and just like on the transportation, they were able to put the pins where they felt that whatever type of condition was needed. On the right, they placed stickers on there, which the red represents the residential, where they felt residential should be, green, where parks and open space should be, blue, industrial, and red, commercial. So them are a little bit more self-explanatory than the pins if you don't have the key for what they're looking for. So that was just kind of a breakdown of what we did. So we will present this, and this information will go to our task force as well. And it is part of our public record that we will be looking at these and taking into consideration what them thoughts have been. So, so any questions from you guys?
What was the yellow dot for on that one?
The yellow, hard surfacing.
Residential.
No,
Well,
yellow
I meant
on
the dot.
pink. Well, the dot was yellow was residential, and bigger dots. There was one individual where they thought they wanted to put them only where the cities in city limits. That's the only place where people should live, and of course they were there and they lived in Elwood County. But yes, so that would be. They felt everything should be concentrated to city limits, but. I mean, that was
that one
how
comment. It said no more people.
And that maybe was the person that put that on there too.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And special thanks to Bonnie, who actually came and worked on two of them for us. So we appreciate you doing that, Bonnie.
Well, I think all
and everybody else. Yeah,
and we had,
everyone here came.
Yeah, so you got to see it in action, and we appreciate that.
I'm disappointed there weren't more people there from Del Rapids, but you guys did a great job. It was very informative and certainly a good opportunity for public input.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I think you might have been helped too. I think there was some activities going on in the West Central School that people were kind of, and then ended up, well, what's this? And we'll stay here, so that worked out pretty good too.
Yeah, no, we did, that did probably, just some more people that didn't really know exactly what was going on, they were to be able to be informed. Some individuals from Hartford, I know that one was a fairly good turnout, that the EDA, the gentleman that's on the EDA board over there, forwarded that on to a bunch of his people in kind of underneath them, so they were able to get noticed too. The only other thing I just would mention that we had our cleanup this last weekend on Saturday the 20th. We were there from 7 to 3. We seem to have a good turnout. I'm sure that the number of tons of material that we collected will be quite high, as we had a large area. We encompassed 4 townships, Benton, Wall Lake, Wayne, and Hartford. Yeah. So,
are you doing all of the townships or just the more highly populated ones?
the more highly populated ones right now, because it's hard to spend the money to have all of our contractors go up there for 100 people if it's Buffalo Township. But since this is our largest one that we've had, in the future maybe we'll be able to do 4 or 6 of them to make it worth their while to go up there to do this. So this was kind of a trial to try to find a middle common ground for everybody and to see how it would turn out. And we had very positive turnout at this event. So yeah, we were there. And I don't know if I'm guessing you guys knew previously that we were going to be there, but everything was good, and this will be, we'll have for sure one more this next spring before our grant funding runs out for this project. So. That's it.
Then I'm not sure if it's old or new business, but I handed out a press release for the appointment to the Planning Commission. Mike Cypher's term is up in December. I talked to Mike this morning, and he is going to reapply, he indicated, but it is going to be open to everyone. And so I handed that out in case you know of anyone that would like to apply, or the application deadline is the 1st of December, which will give us plenty of time to take to the county commission. And there's no meeting in December, so we should have someone appointed for our January meeting. And then the last thing, I apologize for the fact the door is not open. I mean, it was disturbing when the petitioner comes up and says, I couldn't get in the door, but I did go down, and every day a planning commission meets, or every Monday at the planning commission, I always go down and make sure the door is going to be open, because this has happened before and it's upsetting.
When do they lock it, right at 7? I was going to say, because we all come in right before 7.
It's computerized, and it was locked, and Dustin went down and taped it open, and it's possible that the janitor didn't realize why and
took it off.
Took the tape off by 7.
So,
yeah,
because we don't have like a key that you can unlock it. It's all mechanical, and it's all computerized, and we don't. Our office doesn't have access to that program, so we have to put in a request, and it's ongoing, or just a standing 4th Monday. But I do go down because I'm always concerned that this happens, and so.
Yeah, because that could have potentially gone
I know
much
it.
different direction.
I know, and I thought, oh boy, they would have been angry if it got continued, and so it was a little nerve-wracking. Thanks for your understanding.
Is there any other county commission items? I mean,
no,
wasn't
the gun club was last Tuesday, and it was appealed, and it was continued for another week in order for the sheriff to go out and review the conditions and be prepared to report. And it's back on the agenda tomorrow. More than likely will be continued because the attorneys for the applicant, the gun club, have some conflict tomorrow, so they requested a continuation. But I mean, we just passed that on. It's up to the county commission tomorrow to decide if they want to continue it. Or the problem that we run into is, you have people that are showing up, and so then it's, you're telling them you can't tell them not to come, but then when they come, and this continued, it's discouraging for them too, so.
My guess is that it will be continued. The other bigger piece, frankly, is the captain who is going to do the gun club review, if you will, has now called in the DCI from Pier, and he's an expert in shooting ranges, and he can't get here right away. So between that and the attorney and the other side is well aware of the fact that there's a significant chance, because I think Jeff Barth went out there today to meet with them to tell them that it was probably going to be deferred. So
Yeah, they did know.
my guess is that the crowd won't be too big this time.
Well, it's good when they know ahead of time. I felt so bad, like if we were going to defer that item and we already knew people were here to discuss
Yeah.
it, and then you just defer it because the petitioner's not here. He has all the control.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't have any control, I guess.
I
But
know.
potentially he could.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've had the occasion where someone's come down with the flu on the planning commission day, and
Well, and if they contact you and let you know,
Yeah.
that's one
Yeah.
thing too.
yeah,
Yeah.
so whatever.
Because things like that will happen.
Yeah.
All right, anything else we need to discuss? All right, then I guess we'll adjourn.
All right.